Welcome to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and what we're looking at this time is the Gihei Zuika ZDP-189 Gyuto 240mm knife. So this line of knives has a core steel of ZDP-189 powdered metallurgy full stainless steel, and it's an exotic steel that is known, really renowned for its high heat treat capability and also the high edge retention. So this is heat treated to about 65 Rockwell. Sometimes this is taken even higher, but it's a hard steel, and it's also known for very high edge retention. It can be a bit of work to sharpen with all the added components in it, but if you've got the right sharpening equipment, it'll take a nice edge and it will really hold that edge a long time. The steel is expensive to make and expensive to buy, and so these lines of knives with ZDP 189 are typically on the pricier side, and a big chunk of that is the cost of the steel. The construction is a 3-layer construction with a softer stainless steel cladding on either side of that hard core steel for a fully stainless knife. The cladding does wrap over the top of the blade. Fit and finish on these is really well done. The weights and dimensions will vary a little bit from knife to knife since they're hand hammered, but this is about 211 grams or 7.4 ounces. The edge length is right about 240, about 9.5 inches, and the overall length about 15.9 inches, 403 millimeters. The spine thickness, these are a little bit thinner blades than the equivalent knife from the Blue No. 2 Nishiji series by Gihei, so they're a little bit more balanced in terms of weight. So this one's about, it comes out of the handle, but then it thins up real fast to about little under 3, about 2.85 millimeters, and then about halfway down it's about 2.2, and that kind of holds that until you hit the grind. And when you hit the grind, the tip thins out really nicely. The Blue No. 2 series is known for their high-performance grinds being thin at the edge and high-performance tips, and this should be no exception. Maybe even a little bit higher performance because the overall knife's a little thinner. I should say the blade's a little thinner. So the blade height is generous at 51.7, typical of their style. And the handle is an octagonal oak handle with buffalo horn ferrule. Nice fit and finish on the handle. They've got some kind of sealed compound or something also sealing up that tang really well. Nice job on that. Handle circumference is a little bit bigger than a standard size, which is their style as well. So it's like 79-ish, maybe 80 millimeters, 3.1 inches circumference right here where the wood meets the ferrule. They've got their characteristic gentle curve to the choil into the neck, and so you've got a great spot there for a pinch grip. Loads of clearance from the blade height there. Balance point is going to be a little bit farther forward with the size of the blade. The oak handle helps balance it out a little bit, but it's going to be a little farther forward than a pinch grip, so you get a lot of feeling of mass and chopping power with this blade, so it's going to do some workhorse duty for you if you want it to. Let's take a close-up look. The finish they put on these is a horizontally done sanded finish and versus the standard kind of vertical machine finish you see on a lot of blades, so that's sometimes called hairline finish or a brushed finish, so you've got these horizontal finish strokes on it. And part of the cool thing about that is when you clean a knife, you're typically wiping it and drying it this way. And so any scratches you put on the finish will kind of blend into that finish a little bit, which is pretty cool. So you can see you've got some embossed kanji on the right side of the blade. Left side of the blade is plain. You've got a kind of a faux kasumi sandblasted finish on the blade road area. The blade road itself is not that line. It's a little bit below that. You can kind of maybe see it. There's a little bit of a lower grind right there, but there's your blade road right there where it starts with the grind transition from the face of the blade down to the edge. So nice aesthetic, nice polish and rounding, edge rounding on the spine as well as the choil. Very comfortable. The out-of-the-box edge on this was, I'd give it a 5, maybe 6 out of 10. It'll take a little work to get it super screaming sharp, but once you do, you'll have a knife that'll hold an edge a really long time. Let's see, let's put it on the cutting board. The Blue No. 2 series, Nishiji series from this maker is known to have really flat heel section on the profile. These do not. The 210 and the 240 have been pretty curvy, so you can see they've got a different style approach to the profile on this line. So pretty much just a gentle curve throughout with a little bit more aggressive belly in the forward few inches, but I can get about there before I start trying to dig the tip into the cutting board. So this will rock nicely unless you try to go really high. It'll push-pull cut really well. It's not a pure chopper like the Blue No. 2 series is. So a little different style, but really high quality blade, straight, nice grind, smooth edge profile, good craftsmanship. It's a really cool knife line. So there we have the Gihei Zuika ZDP-189 Gyuto 240mm knife.